Okay, so for this deep dive, we're really going to unpack the tvONE CORIOview modular ecosystem.
Mhm.
Our whole mission here is to figure out how this one specific piece of hardware, this input module, promises to solve what is, a massive headache for integrators. I'm talking about signal spaghetti.
And what's so interesting here is just the consolidation of function. I mean, the analogy in the sources is actually perfect.
Multi-tool one.
Yeah, the Swiss Army knife.
Mm,
Think of the CorioView chassis itself as this high-performance frame for video.
okay.
And the modules, like the one we're focusing on,
Yeah.
are the specialized blades you slot in to get the job done.
And I think the most critical blade, especially for compatibility, has to be the CV-DVIU-2IN-FF. That U in DVI-U stands for universal, which sounds almost like magical in its ability to take in everything.
So close.
But that's the real challenge, isn't it? If you've got one box handling brand new digital and, decades old analog signals, what are the trade-offs an installer really needs to plan for?
Well, that's where the engineering really shines. This is a dual channel module, so you get two inputs that can translate, pretty much every standard out there.
And it's not just the modern stuff.
Not at all. It's
What?
not just handling HDMI or DVI-I, which you'd expect. It's really building a bridge all the way back into legacy equipment.
So if you're, say, working in an old control room or maybe a museum exhibit with some proprietary gear, you don't need a whole stack of converters anymore.
Exactly right. This one module can handle the entire analog spectrum. We're talking component video,
So YPBPR, YUV,
all of that, and the older composite and S-video. But critically, it also supports all those professional RGB formats.
RGSB, RGBS, RGBHV.
The whole lot. Plus, it even handles legacy broadcast standards like NTSC and PLL. So by putting all that conversion power inside one internal module, you get rid of so many potential points of failure.
Right, you're avoiding the latency and reliability issues from daisy chaining a bunch of external boxes.
You are.
That consolidation is really the aha moment. But, okay, if we're going to rely on this one module to do all that translation, we have to know the quality holds up. What do the specs tell us about fidelity?
The quality is absolutely preserved. We're looking at a maximum resolution of 1920 by 1200.
WEXGA.
WXGA, yeah, or your standard 1080p, and that's running at 60 hertz.
Hmm.
It also maintains really high fidelity with 24-bit color encoding, so 8 bits per color.
Okay, so the performance isn't suffering for the versatility.
Not at all. And it handles embedded audio, too, up to 2 channels of 48 kilohertz, 24-bit audio per input. And for the integrator, these are typically factory installed, which means they're integrated properly from the start.
That really reinforces the value of the whole ecosystem then.
Yeah.
Because while this DVI-U module is the ultimate compatibility tool, the system itself is built to grow.
It is. It's all about specialization and future-proofing.
So how does that flexibility work with the rest of the chassis?
Well, let's say you didn't need all that legacy support.
Hmm.
If you just needed pure modern digital inputs, you could swap in the higher-end HDMI 4K UHD module.
And what if your project is all about networking?
Then there are modules for that, too. You have HD basesuit and Ethernet input modules for long-distance runs over standard network cable.
And for, like, a broadcast studio or a dedicated production suite, you've got specific blades for that as well, I'm guessing?
Absolutely. They offer things like 3G SDI and even 4X HD SDI input modules.
Yeah.
The whole point is that functional contrast. You have one module for universal inputs and others for very specialized high-bandwidth workflows.
So you only pay for what you need today.
Exactly. But you can always swap out components later as your needs change, so the system doesn't become obsolete overnight.
So when you boil it all down, the CV-DVIU-2IN-FF module is that ultimate multi-tool. It makes signal translation, which is usually the most painful part of system integration, basically a non-issue inside a really robust frame.
Which, brings us back to fidelity. And here's something to really mull over.
Yeah.
This module has to actively translate between signals from, like, the dawn of television and modern 1080p.
Right.
And the spec that even mentioned, it uses BT.601 for standard definition.
Right.
And BT.709 for high definition. So that raises a really important question for me.
Which is?
What is the hidden complexity involved in managing and converting between these completely distinct color space standards to make sure the image that comes out of the CorioView looks identical to the image that went in? That constant management of color accuracy across all those different signals, that's the hidden challenge of universal compatibility you need to keep thinking about.